Sunday Meditation, December 13th, 1981. LL Research channeling Laitos, Hatonn, and Latwii. C. Channeling. I am Laitos, and I am with this instrument. We greet you, my friends, brothers and sisters, in the light and love of the infinite Creator. We would at this time like to pass among you and let each experience our particular conditioning vibration. And we pause for a brief moment with those who have been working diligently to improve their ability to receive and channel the humble message of the Confederation. We would now pass among you. I am Laitos. I am Laitos, and am once again with this instrument. We have been privileged this past period of time you call your week, in which we have been called to be of service in our humble way to aid new instruments who wish to serve others in the form of the activity called channeling. We of Laitos, as always, assure all present that we shall be with you whenever you request, and we shall also be with you and any who seek love and light. We thank you for allowing us this brief time tonight. We will now leave so that another of our brothers may speak a few words through another instrument. I leave you now in love and light. We are Laitos. Carla, channeling. I am Hatonn, and I greet you, my friends, in the love and the light of our infinite Creator. It is a great privilege to be asked to share your meditation, and we send each of you a blessing and our love. For, my friends, what else could we do, as there is nothing but blessing in each moment, nothing but love in every iota of the one creation. Your streets are crowded. We feel within your group the tensions and the expectations of this season which you call Christmas. We sink into gray evenings, the crowded parking lots, crowded schedules, many concerns. We find, my friends, that you are not alone, but that your people, as a whole, seem to have a great overdose, shall we say, of civilization. To the simple joys of a season in which the trees are bare and the roots rest deep, so much has been added that it almost seems that it is a gaudier season than the bright colors of June. My friends, are the thoughts with which you fill your minds as beautiful as flowers, as sweet-smelling as the evergreen trees which you use to help celebrate this season? We realize, my friends, that it is easy to lose yourself in the crowded maze of your civilization. And we ask you to remember that this is a season also when the trees are bare, when all has gone to seed and lies quiet in the ground, when the surface of things does not really matter. In the world of the Creator, this is the season for true birth, for true nurture, and for that great focused silence which brings new growth. You will remember also that in your holy work which you call the Bible, detail of the life of the one known to you as Jesus is full of times spent alone. Perhaps, my friends, you cannot find a wilderness in these crowded days, but we would ask that you consider the possible virtue of finding that silence within yourself, in which you cease to follow the road of everyday life, and find yourself upon the trackless desert, where nothing is previously set or known. Allow yourself to listen within yourself. There is a source of love which can only speak to one who asks. The content of that speaking cannot be predicted, but there are qualities that can certainly be shared: clarity and sweetness. As you go into meditation, seek for that love which is within. Do not expect the road to be already drawn for you, for the wilderness is trackless. And yet, my friends, from each meditation, the way before you becomes less crowded, the road more wide, and the possibilities for love more evident. We ask that you consider these words not as infallible, but only as words from a friend, from a brother, from yourself. For are we not one, my friends? Is not each of us a part of unity which encompasses all of creation? Take from what we say those things which may be of aid to you. Discard the rest, and know that we are with you at any time that you may ask. For this is our one great privilege and honor, to be available to those who would wish to share thoughts with us, using instruments such as this, or simply being experienced as a vibration which may aid in clarity. Before we leave this group, we would like to share our vibrations with the one known as M1 and the one known as N. If the group would be patient, we would like to work briefly with each instrument in order that each may have the best possible sense of the nature and quality of our particular tuning. We also wish to make quite sure that the adjustments which we have made with the one known as M1 are entirely comfortable. We would now pause. I am Hatonn. I am Hatonn, and am again with this instrument. We thank each of you for sharing with us, and especially the one known as M1 and the one known as N. We leave you now, my friends. As you begin to feel crowded and discouraged in this supposedly happy season, and this will surely happen, look up into the limitless sky and know that there is no true reason to feel anything but love. Adonai, my friends, I am known to you as Hatonn. Jim, channeling. I am Latwii, and I greet you, my friends, in the love and the light of the one infinite Creator. It is once again our privilege and pleasure to join your meditation group and to offer ourselves in the humble capacity of attempting to answer the questions which those present may have upon their minds. May we answer any questions at this time? Carla. I'd like to ask some for L. He would like to know, when doing healing work, what is the purpose of the laying on of hands, and the nature of using proximity rather than physical contact? Latwii. I am Latwii, and am aware of these queries, my sister. We shall begin by saying that the purpose of the laying on of the hands is to provide the one to be healed with the opening of the shell of protection which surrounds each entity, and does also provide a means by which the one to be healed might know that there is something happening. This something, the actual physical touching, is that which the one to be healed may look to as many of your entities look to the pill, shall we say, of those whom you refer to as physicians. Many of your psychologists have described this effect as the placebo effect. It is necessary for the one to be healed to know that there is a healing activity which is occurring, and which will, if the one to be healed wishes it, have an effect upon the one to be healed. The actual penetrating of that shell of protection about each entity is the, shall we say, foundation of purpose upon which the touching rests. The proximity to the one to be healed of the one attempting the healing, the healer, shall we say, is necessary for this same reason for most entities. It is not so with those entities who wish to be healed with a very great desire, and have, with their own efforts and desires to be healed, traveled that path which shall result in the healing. The proximity of the healer to the one to be healed is, therefore, also connected to that which is known as the placebo effect. For, if the one to be healed does truly desire to be healed with enough purity of desire, and if the one to be healed has, through its own effort, succeeded in working with that catalyst which has not been previously worked with successfully, then it is not necessary for there to be any other self attempting healing, nor would it be necessary for any laying on of hands, but only necessary for the one to be healed to open the self completely to that love light of the one Creator, which, in the end, does all the healing. May we answer you further, my sister? Carla, it seems that there is a type of energy that the healer offers by some funneling of energy through the hands. What you're saying is that it is not necessary for this energy to actually touch the person, and furthermore, that if the person desires to be healed with enough purity, the piercing of the protective shell by this power is accomplished by the will and desire of the person themselves. Is that correct? Latwii. I am Latwii, and this, my sister, is basically correct with one small addition. It is indeed necessary for this energy to touch the one to be healed, but is not necessarily, shall we say, a function of the one known as the healer, for it is quite possible for the one to be healed to provide this energy for the self, and to touch the self with it by the purity of its desire to be healed. May we answer you further, my sister? Carla. I believe that answers the question. L would also like to ask, is it necessary to sleep? Latwii. I am Latwii, and my sister, we find that for the great majority of entities upon your planet, it is quite necessary to sleep. For those activities of your daily routines which provide the catalyst for the learning of love for each part of the creation and each part of the self do take a toll upon both the mind and the body, most especially the body. And there must be for each entity upon your planet so experiencing this catalyst a rest and a respite, shall we say, so that the body complex might use those nutritious elements of your food nature to rebuild those cells which have been, shall we say, sacrificed and played their part in the role of consuming and using catalyst. It is also necessary for the mind to be rested from the daily pursuits so that it might turn, in sleep, to other pursuits of a more balanced nature. It is, may we add, not totally necessary that this recharging of mind and body be done in the sleep process. Meditation does offer a great deal of concentrated energy which might recharge both mind and body. There are other forms of relaxation, concentration, and prayer which might also be utilized for this recharging process. May we answer you further, my sister? Carla. Well, the rest of that question that L had, I think you've already answered, but I'll just check. He wanted to know if it was possible to simply use the energy, the life energy that's all around, instead of sleeping. Latwii. I am Latwii, and my sister, we might say this is indeed possible. But for most entities upon your planet is beyond the grasp, shall we say. For this type of recharging by the utilizing of the cosmic energy which surrounds each particle of your being is that process of the adept, or the one who has, through a disciplined and purified form of seeking, been able to make use and to use the contact of this energy for such recharging. It is not common among your peoples, but is indeed possible. May we answer you further, my sister? Carla. No, Latwii, thank you. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. Latwii. I am Latwii, and we are most gratified to be able to be of this humble service. May we answer another question at this time? C. Yes, a question, I guess, also doing with sleep. I was reading about dreams, and that during each sleeping period, we go through times during that time of sleep that our minds are active in what we call dreams, and that if a person is disturbed during the period in which the dream exists, that in the next sleep period, that person will dream that much more. I was wondering exactly, what are dreams? What is the purpose of dreams? Latwii. I am Latwii, and my brother, we might say in general upon this very large topic, that in your daily activities you experience a variety of experiences. These times seem quite overwhelming, numerous in nature, and never-ending. Within your dream state, you may also notice that there is a great variety of experiences available here as well. Indeed, the number and types of experiences to be had during the dream state is quite infinite. As you have yourself noted in your query, there might be certain activities in the dream state which are used much as the activities in your waking state are used. That is, for the learning of a specific lesson. We might say that among your peoples it has been noted by most that the dreams are only dreams. We might say in this regard that those activities which are called dreams by your people might, in one respect, be looked upon as being more, shall we say, real than that activity which occurs during waking hours. For within the dream state, the mind is more freed from the limitations of your third density physical illusion, and may pursue those lessons of the mind-body-spirit complex which the entity has incarnated to learn with more fluidity, with a greater freedom, with a perception of that which is limitless, and might more efficiently learn those lessons which have been programmed before this incarnation. There are a number of types of dream experiences. It would be quite exhaustive to cover each at this time, but we might say that the entity in the dream state might have subconsciously programmed the meeting with other entities of its Earth environment, entities of other astral levels, entities of levels of existence in what you would call the heaven worlds, all for the purpose of enacting a miniature drama, much like that which you experienced during an entire lifetime. And in this drama, however long or short, might then experience that lesson or attempt that lesson which has not been well learned within the waking activity. And when this lesson has been brought to, shall we say, a point of blooming or a point of mastery, then this lesson might be brought forth into the waking consciousness so that the entity might manifest it in the third density physical illusion, and thereby more efficiently utilize the catalyst of that particular lesson. May we answer in more detail, my brother?
C. No, but I was wondering if humans have forgotten how to use telepathy as a means of communication. In the dream state, is one better able to use the brain's telepathic capacity?
Latwii. I am Latwii, and am aware of your question, my brother. We might, in general, say that this is a correct assumption, that in the dream state, that which you know as telepathic communication is quite possible. We might also add that it is a matter of choice of the entity's subconscious mind as to what type of communication is utilized within the dream state. For some type of learning, the simple spoken word is quite sufficient. For other, more intensive, shall we say, learnings, the telepathic communication might more efficiently be utilized. May we answer you further, my brother?
C. Not at the moment, thank you.
Latwii. We are most grateful to you as well. May we answer another question at this time?
N. Yes. In the distortion I call healing, and which I term balancing, I hold the crystal in my right hand. Is that, for me, a proper vehicle for the energy which I allow to flow through me to that one being healed?
Latwii. I am Latwii, and my brother, we will quite heartily agree that for your particular distortion of the healing process, this holding of the crystal is quite appropriate, and for you, quite sufficient. We shall also suggest that upon this path of healing, you yourself shall discover other means whereby you might also be of this service in the balancing, as you have called it. May we answer you further, my brother?
N. Yes. Would you please clarify that last statement as to other methods? Is there a better method?
Latwii. I am Latwii, and my brother, we might say that there is an infinite array of methods of utilizing the healing by crystal. And indeed, there are many methods which are more efficient, shall we say, and our suggestion was simply that you shall, when the time is appropriate, discover these methods.
N. Thank you. I have a further question. In my distortion of the energy which I channel through, I term it a violet transmuting flame type of energy. Is there any correspondence to that with the energies which we've been studying this week that have come through Ra?
Latwii. I am Latwii, and my brother, we might suggest in this regard that it matters not what you call the energy which you are working with, for they do have their effect upon the healing process, and whether you call them violet, green, pink, or chartreuse, shall we say, matters not.
There are, of course, identifications which are more efficacious and more correct, but these are not a part of the healing process. That is, the naming does not heal. The energies which you utilize and channel through your particular channel do aid in this healing process. May we answer you further, my brother? N. Thank you for that clarity. I wonder if you might suggest a way in which I might be a clearer channel for this energy. Latwii. I am Latwii, and, my brother, we find in this regard that we can make no specific suggestions other than that general suggestion of the meditation and the deepening of the desire to be of service. Knowing that within this state of meditation, your desire shall lead you upon the path and bring you to those points of learning which will allow you to become an increasingly more efficient, shall we say, healer. To give you the specific methods would be an infringement upon your own free will. May we answer you further, my brother? N. No, Latwii. Thank you for your clarity. Latwii. I am Latwii. We are most thankful as well for yours. May we answer another question at this time? Carla. What color are you in, Latwii? Latwii. I am Latwii, and my sister, the color which we inhabit this evening might be most correctly described as that of the orangish rust, or, shall we say, that which is the citron in nature. Is there another question at this time? Carla. Since you mentioned that particular color, I was wondering if it is rather... Side 1 of the tape recording this session ends here, cutting off this part of Carla's question. However, we pick up on side 2 with Carla still asking her question. Carla. Move into green has then to go back to orange and do some homework, I guess you'd say. Is that particular vibration distorted from the norms this close to the end of the cycle? Latwii. I am Latwii, and in response to this query, my sister, we may say that the orange vibration is quite pure in its orangeness, shall we say. The distortion lies not in the orangeness, but in its great prevalence upon your planet at this time. We do indeed now investigate this particular color of the spectrum because it is that color which is most manifest upon your planet, that being the color of the individual focused upon the self, not yet exploring beyond the self, focused upon those concerns which assure the survival and maintenance of the self and of the immediate surroundings of the self. Eventually, as the progress of evolution proceeds, the self-aware entity does move out into the fields of concern, which may be likened unto the field of the consciousness of other selves upon the planet, seeing the needs of the other selves, attempting to meet these needs, attempting to share in some manner with other selves those necessities which the self has found for the self. At this time, many upon your planet do move back into this orange ray for the purpose of reassessing those needs of the self, so that, eventually, there might be a continued movement outward into the yellow ray, and the sharing of those sustenance features, shall we say, of your illusion with the other selves. May we answer you further, my sister? Carla. No, thank you. Latwii.
We are most grateful to you as well. Is there another question at this time? M1. Yes, Latwii. In reference to what you were just talking about, could you use as an example my coming here as being a movement into orange so that I might move from yellow to green? Latwii. I am Latwii, and my sister, we cannot give you the specific information which you request at this time, for it is, in our humble opinion, an infringement to reveal the nature of your path to you at this time. It is, we feel, more appropriate for you to discover your own path and its winding ways, shall we say. May we answer you further, my sister? M1. No, thank you, Latwii. Latwii. We thank you. Is there another question at this time? M2. Yes, Latwii. Back when the Vietnamese and Chinese were in a very intense situation, you were monitoring the situation closely. Are we having a similar situation in Poland? Latwii. I am Latwii, and my brother, we might say in general that your planet is experiencing a great number of intensities at this time. There are among your people many feelings of mistrust, many feelings of hatred for other groups, many concerns of a worldly nature which concern, as we mentioned before, the survival of the self, the refusal of the self to see the need for the survival of other selves. Many are the intensities upon your planet at this time. We are monitoring many of the situations and are hopeful that as the entities involved in each become more and more involved in the intricacy of the other self's situation, that there might be seen by all concerned the oneness that binds each to the Creator. For it is the purpose of such catalysts which your peoples now experience to give to those experiencing them the realization that those things which seem to separate peoples are not of a real substance, but are illusions which do teach certain lessons. The students are in the classroom. The lesson has progressed through most of the semester. The graduation does approach. The final examinations are being prepared. Whether the students shall learn the lessons is not known. We of Latwii, with our brothers and sisters of the Confederation of Planets in the service of the Infinite Creator, do respond to those calls for love and light as we perceive them, and do lend our love and light where it is called. We are hopeful that the students shall learn their lessons and shall receive the passing grades. For it would indeed be much easier if the students realized that the tests which they are now taking do not need to be taken alone. For the answers are within the hearts of each, and it is not, shall we say, cheating to give the answer of love to another. May we answer you further, my brother? M2. No, thank you, Latwii. Latwii. We are most grateful to you as well. Is there another question at this time? N. Yes. Is it possible to experience what I would term fine-tuning of balancing by asking an entity such as yourself for that? Latwii. I am Latwii, and my brother, to our best understanding of this term which you use, we cannot give such an experience. It must be given by the self requesting it, to the self requesting it. May we answer you further, my brother? N. No, thank you. Latwii. We thank you. Is there another question at this time? I am Latwii. We have been most honored to be asked to join your meditation group this evening. We hope that each entity present will take those words which have meaning with them. We'll leave those words which have no meaning behind. We of Latwii are humble messengers of light and do bring our love to share with this group when called. It is a great honor to be called to this group. We come as brothers and sisters. We come as messengers of the one Creator. We come as Creator to Creator. For are we all not one? We leave you now in the love and in the light of the one infinite Creator. I am Latwii. Hatonn.
Go forth then, rejoicing in the power and the peace of the one infinite Creator.